What's going on? Good luck to you.
Let me tell your future. Gold without, gold within. Blood comes in many colors, but the gilded always bleed gold.
To kill a man like Dominus, that's an accomplishment worthy of Kaum, my greatest ancestor. Were we in Nalmakanui, I'd make you a Makanga, an honored warrior. But we are not in Nalmakanui. We dwell in a city of death, and my respect is all the honor I can bestow on you. You have claimed the most worthy of prey, Makoru. Piety and Dominus, the harbingers of nightmare. I'm not saying the war is over, but you've given Rayclast a much-needed respite. Because of you, this land lives to see another dawn. Be well.
Need some help?
Hello.
Black's journey is cut short at the foot of the tower. The flesh rots, but the bone grows yet. Hello. Fate awaits you. awaits you. In many colors, but the gilded always bleed gold.
much clutter.
Opens the gates to you for two reasons only: Dominus and piety. They made themselves our enemies. You made them dead. Now, Oyan believes there is a third reason. The beast is our enemy. Perhaps you can make it dead as well. I have seen the look in Piety's eyes. I see the look in your eyes, which it is not as different as I had hoped. No matter. The knife in your hand is better than the spear in the rack. Oyan has ordered me to help you, to trade with you. I have risked much to gather weapons and armor for this Akara. I've scavenged on the fringes of Vol's encampment and scouted the dead city. Let us see if you can offer any value in return. Remembered. What do you need now? I'm watching you.
Many great things begin at the foot of a mountain, Exile. So too do many tragedies. Often a path becomes a fork, and the echoes of your actions push you down one side or the other. Do you know where you are being carried? Would you like to? Lightless halls, hewn in stone, swell with the malformed, the twisted, the hardened, and the dangerous. Madness feeds the king's fury in the raging mouth of the volcano. His last vision will be a sign.
You are most welcome here, sister. What you did back there in San, it was truly
terrifying. Don't get me wrong, Piety, the rest, they had it coming. But there's no one like that here. These Maraketh, they're good people.
She knows that. Please, sister, ignore Pataris.
My grandfather was a captain in the Ebony Legion. My father too, and me. just following the path that had been laid out for me.
Until you met me.
Yes, until I met the most beautiful woman I'd ever seen.
Behind bars. An exile waiting to become an experiment. Not quite how I imagined meeting the man of my dreams.
I realized then that I wasn't part of the Ebony Legion anymore. I'd become a blackguard like every other damned legionnaire in San, taking orders from a madman.
Pataris freed me and led us here.
I'd heard about the Marrakech from those few legionnaires who survived the assault on Highgate.
And I talked them into harboring us.
Vanya can be very persuasive when she wants to be.
We've a few bits and pieces lying about that might help with what's to come.
Bits and pieces? I risked my neck to salvage those artifacts.
I know, sweetie, and I really appreciate your artifacts.
You didn't say that when I brought them in. You said, "Is that all?"
You'd been gone for ages.
And you think you could do a quicker job?
Yes, if you'd let me, yes.
No. Not for all the jewelry in the world. What if I lost you?
Okay, I'm sorry. We have charms and regalia sourced at great risk from some of the most dangerous places in Rayclast. Better?
Yes, thank you.
Kira is a racist bully with that fancy hair crest of hers stuck so far up her
Come
arm.
on, Vanya. She's a warrior. It's not her job to be nice. It's her job to defend...
Look all lithe and sweaty when you're watching her train. That's the only job you're interested in.
I'm studying the Marrakech fighting style.
Sure you are, sweetie. I heard of the beast before coming here. Piety talked about it. I suppose she saw no point in keeping secrets from the people she was planning to murder.
I'm so sorry, Vanya.
God, it's not your fault, Pataris. But Piety used to say that the beast was the source of her power. How she managed to turn poor men and women into those... things. She kept using a phrase. What was it?
Universal transmogrification. I heard her assistants talk about it too.
The power to change the world into anything you like.
Bloody scary power in the hands of someone like Piety.
Bloody scary powerful stop. Be careful.
Seems like the rain's brought out a few worms. Don't think I'm an easy mark, Exile. I've spent more than enough time around Exiles to know which way the dagger's pointing, and I'll happily give it a shove in your direction if you try anything wormy. I'm conducting a little dig, the sort of enterprise that could make someone with your particular skill set a very handsome living. Don't worry, you'll not be moving much dirt. No. Why smash rocks when you could smash skulls, eh? Hey, mate, what's going on? Came all the way here to see what's what in this famous mine, but there's a bloody big glowing wall blocking it. Can't squeeze through. Bye.
I am Tasuni, he who peers into the gloom, who hears the black hearts that thunder within the mountain deep. If you seek enlightenment, find a torch. If you seek to understand the nightmare, I can help feel your way through the darkness. I stare into the eyes of madness, Witch. I see a hunger for power that nightmare would most generously satiate, should you choose to ask it. Keela rides more swiftly and strikes more truly than any other Dakara here. If only she could learn to think as swiftly as she rides and speak as truly as she strikes. Better and worse are judged not on the talents one prizes, but the talents one needs. Pataris and Vanya, two mouths that speak from one mind. When together, they express some quite interesting thoughts. When apart, well, half a thought isn't really even a thought, is it? Hunt well.
You come to us, a woman like us, and yet nothing like us. While we cloak ourselves in tradition and war, you cloak yourself in thaumaturgy and fear. And that is why you will kill the beast within the mountain. Lady Diala has told me this. She has much faith in you, which, the question is, can we Maraketh share in her faith? Sekema Deshret sealed the mines, trapped the nightmare within its black den. The beast should never have been imprisoned. The beast should have been destroyed, yet for all her ferocity, it seemed that Deshret lacked the courage to do so. And now, after 2 centuries guarding this hole in the ground, this Akara lacks the strength. But you are not Deshret, and you are not one of us. You will succeed where we have failed. Deshret's banner will break the seal and open the mines. It was taken from her when she fell to Vol, the brittle emperor. Take the stairs to the southwest. Descend to the dried lake. You shall have no trouble finding the brittle emperor. You'll smell him before you see him. Bring Deshret's banner home, and you will be free to pass into the darkness as you wish. The Maraketh once stood united under Deshret's banner. That was before the plagues, the tempests, the corruption. Deshret rode here with this Akara, the Kiyato, to put an end to the beast's curse. And upon the very threshold of the darkness, she faltered. Perhaps she saw that King Kalm had gone there before her and not returned. Or perhaps the nightmare simply overcame Deshret's seemingly indomitable courage. Either way, she chose not to ride into the mountain to slay the beast. She closed and sealed the mines and committed this Akara to Highgate's guardianship. The tempests, the plagues, they passed. Of their own accord, or because of Deshret's seal, we do not know. But what I do know is this. When Deshret vowed to watch over these mines, she simply traded one curse for another. Vol and his unmen have dipped their fleshless claws into the lifeblood of the Maraketh since the day this Akara tethered its roer here. Such is the way with men of war. Remove their tongues, yet still they thirst for blood. Remove their bellies, yet still they hunger for battle. Remove their manhood, yet still they lust for conquest. Kira has the blood of Deshret in her veins and the bonds of Deshret in her mind. Her loyalty to her Akara is admirable. Her loyalty to the past is not. I will make allies of whomever I deem useful. We have observed the actions of both Blackguard and Exile, and it is Pitaris and Vanya who give meaning to those actions. This Akara has not mixed with other than its own for over 200 years. The outside world has now discovered us, so it is time that we discovered it. Tasuni has been corrupted since the day he was born. Maraketh tradition would have it that such a warped child be left upon the moonlit plain for the gods to adopt. Tasuni was not taken by the gods that night. Such a thing has never happened before in our Akara. Now we know why. Tasuni is a man caught between two worlds, our world of light and the beast's world of darkness. He is our scout in the black, and without him, Nightmare would remain beyond our understanding. And an enemy you cannot know is an enemy you cannot fight. Our hopes are with you.
Speak. Impatient reekings. They waft to me from that mountain. That's all I can smell, not a cockroach. Stinking anticipation. Vol the Pure, they called him. Vol the Murderer, I call him. In his name, an emperor was murdered. In his name, an empire was murdered. Yes, it was Malachi's lips that kissed me. Yes, it was Malachi's hand that led me to the rapture. No, no, and no again. It was Vol's words that put me there. Ta-ta, not a cockroach.
Speak your mind. Diala wishes the beast dead. But why? Why would a nightmare wish to kill a nightmare? A question of great interest, yet little importance. It does not matter why the sun rises and sets, as long as it continues to do so. Our hopes are with you.
I see and feel the darkness. The Marraketh are stranded in the sandstorm of reflection and regret. We look to El Sakema to lead us out. Yet the sandstorm is all she knows. She needs me, her eyes and ears in the darkness, but she will never comprehend my gifts. The Red Sakema was the woman who forged what it meant to be Marraketh. A people united, strong. Deshret lit fires in the hearts of women and loins of men. When she fell, so did the Marraketh. We've been falling ever since. The Marraketh speak of its betrayal, but Vol did what he thought was necessary to destroy the beast. Now he wonders the desiccation, tortured as much by his failure as by Nightmare. Diala has the form of a woman, yet the substance is 1 part corruption and 9 parts death. One day soon, you will see how lifeless she truly is. Of course.
Greetings.
Yes?
Oyun gave us a home.
Our lives back.
Appreciate the good ones when you find them in Rayclast.
It's not like there are many. Tasuni, he's a con man.
Pataris just doesn't understand him.
I understand that he gets his every need catered for by talking in riddles and telling
The
lies.
truth about the nightmare. He makes sense of the chaos as best he can.
How can we possibly know whether what he's telling us is the truth or not?
We can't. But who else is there to ask?
Diala was there when it all went bad. If anyone can help put things right...
Why would she? Rayclast has been like this for almost 300 years. What's made her want to do something about it now?
She's the Gemling Queen, Vanya. There's no way we could understand what goes on in that mind of hers.
I know. And that's precisely what worries me.
See ya.
Let me tell you.
Yes? Oyan is my Sakema, my commander. I am her Dakara, her warrior. I defend the Sakara as Oyan sees fit. Whether Oyan is fit to see what is best for this tribe. It is not for me to say. My mother gave Tasuni to the gods. The gods gave him back, and I thank them for it every day. Given the choice, I would never have chosen Tasuni as my brother. But then, family is not about what you want. It is about what you need. As we give strength to the outside, we grow weaker on the inside. First, there was Pataris and Vanya. Now there is you. It shows how little faith Oyan has in us, in her own Akara, that she would treat blackguards and exiles with such admiration. I've led many a war party against Vol and his unmen, and I've seen too many of my Dakara die. I shall look for your return, but I shall not expect it. When a woman forgets how to die, a woman forgets how to live. Deshret said that to her Dakara on the day she killed Titusius, scourge of the Maraketh. I say this of Diala. When a woman knows nothing of life, how can she care for the living? I'm watching you.
How do I keep ending up in such lovely places? And not before. keeps getting the better of you, doesn't it, Vol? Too much clutter.
I vowed to care for this empire with my eyes open. I lied to my people. I lied to myself. Blinded by my lust for purity, I placed my faith in the most corrupt of men. I watch now as my legion dies, their flesh melting from their twisted bones. They fall and rise. A tide of mortal death and eternal damnation. I feel it now in my own flesh. The heat, the corruption. I have failed you, my empire of purity. Do not forgive me, but please, I beg of you, survive me.
What do you need now? What is it, Exile? Go where you are needed.
Is too precious to waste on you.
fear guide you.
Welcome. Blue blood drains from a cutthroat and turns what it touches to gold. Blue tendrils entangle and change. All that remains is gold.
What is it, Exile? I'm watching you.
Do you need help with something?
Until next time.
Blue tendrils entangle and change. All that remains is gold.
Yes? You will be remembered.
Let me tell you. A hand scrolls on a wall, or carves into bone, a tale that undoes the world and teaches those who come after.
Ooh, look at that. See that? One moment, big blades. Next moment, gone. Should be able to go in there now. Heard this place reeked of voltaxic sulfite back in the day. I was planning on having a wander down there, only I think I can hear things shuffling around down there. And I'm more of a lover than a fighter. Actually, if you're headed in there, maybe you could do us a favour. See, I run a little mining operation of my own. Mining's dangerous at the best of times, but it's suicidal without a proper source of light. I've got lights, just ain't got no power. Run on voltaxic sulfide, they do. Nasty rocks. Stink like a dozen eggs rotting in the summer sun on the back of a whale carcass. And they're less stable than the high temper on a bad day. Bloody toxic, too. Keep your nostrils peeled for some voltaxic sulfite while you're down there. Or anywhere, really. Stay in the light.
The gate is open, and the darkness calls. Good hunting, Cursebreaker. We read the land, learn its stories. Kalm and his warriors entered those mines some 20 years before Deshret sealed the mines and bound our Akara to this mountain. Neither soil nor stone speak of Kalm's return. Perhaps he is dead, or perhaps he merely wishes he was. After all, anything seems possible. Go where you are needed.
The rapture is our hope, our desperation. It will set the nightmare to boil, cook that nice big fishy in its own whining brine. Listen with all of your ears, not a cockroach. The rapture was Malachai's most wondrous creation, the only fire hot enough to burn the beast from existence. And its fuel? A gemling queen. Blood and flesh and gem. Yet my selfish self did not want to burn away, and so the fire was but a tiny spark. The spark of a cataclysm. I am sorry, my love, my Malachi. Go to it, not a cockroach. Find the rapture. Make me sorry no more. The rapture was to rend open the hide of nightmare and broil the beast's bitter innards in the sweet fire of mortality. The vessel was strong and oh so willing. The medicine was oh so weak. Don't die, please.
Yes?
The gate is open, and now I hear her voice as clearly as if she was sitting right here with me. Words of a dead woman, reverberating up from the depths of Highgate. A spirit chained, yet not enslaved. Tortured, yet unbroken. That dead woman is Deshret, and our red Sakema longs to return to the dust of her Visteri. Free her, and I shall reward you as my gifts allow. In destroying Vol, you have avenged many a pretty bloodied nose around here. Well done, you. Of course.
What do you need now? Deshret's banner flies at the mine's entrance, and now the darkness gapes, hungry and expectant. Our red Sakema sealed that gate for a reason. Not simply to prevent the beast from reaching out, but to hinder those fools who would disturb its slumber. And here you are, about to be swallowed by that darkness. Let us hope the beast doesn't notice your passing. Deshret lies shackled in the darkness, while I, her blood, am shackled by duty to remain here. Oyan has decreed it. Will it be you then who frees Deshret from her dishonor? Perhaps you will, perhaps you won't. Either way, it is Deshret's fate to suffer at the mercy of injustice. Hundreds of our Dakara have fallen to Vol and his legion throughout the years. They died defending their Akara. Now Vol is gone, killed by an outsider. You bask in the glory, Exile, while I honor the dead. May fear guide you.
Welcome.
Emperor Vol is dead, for good this time.
And the entrance to the mine stands open. I suppose you'll be heading down there
To free us from the sickening supremacy of nightmare.
I was going to say to kick some nightmare ass.
I think I put it better.
Of course you did, sweets.
Be careful.
Greetings. See that? One moment.
Yes, little mountain. I'm pleased to see you too.
Another good find. Ah, this is the stuff. Good nose, Exile. You find more and I'll come right over. Don't touch it though. Stuff will send you mad without the right precautions. You think I want to be dressed like this? Tell you what, how about we take a look around my mine? Talk to me when you're ready to go. Stay in the light. Looks like shite, eh? Well, don't judge a mine by its entrance. Eternals used to pull all sorts of goodies out of these rocks, and they never had my secret weapon. Just inside the mine shaft is my creaky little crawler. Took one of the old Eternal torture devices and repurposed it. Oh, it can still tear your skin off like peeling a fruit, but hopefully it won't try to. Instead, it can lay down a daisy chain of lights powered by that voltaxic sulfite. You'll want to be on the lookout for more of that, mind you. This big beauty next to me, my pride and joy, feeds Crawler with refined and purified sulfite, and it's capable of taking all sorts of the raw materials strewn below ground and turning them into sources of light and explosives. How about you head underground and follow the mechanical little bugger to an azurite vein, eh? The darkness within those walls is unnatural. It does not fade in the presence of light. It retreats like a living beast. I'd not wander too far from the lamps if I were you. Been working on this machine on and off for years. Hard to really test it without the raw materials from the mine. You're here now, though, so maybe that'll change. This beauty can take the azurite you find in there and turn it into flares and dynamite. Enough azurite, and I can make this thing more efficient than it already is. Able to hold a lot more sulfite, and able to make better flares and dynamite. Grew up in Oriath. Used to love the city. Spent my youth combing the woods around it for sulfite. No one else knew how to handle the stuff, but the Templar had a voracious appetite for it. Needed it to power whatever godforsaken machines they were building. Made a very healthy living for myself until, well, let's just say, for a while I thought I was a prophet. The Templar don't take so kindly to people calling themselves prophets. Locked me up in a madhouse, but I dug me way out. Templar like escapees even less than they like false prophets. So here I am, digging around in eternal rubble. Ta-da! is Crawler, capable of scouting out a few of the valuables hidden down here, but needs your muscle to get to them. Tell it where you want to go, and try to stay alive till you get there. Crawler will burn through sulfite on the way, and we ain't made of sulfite, so choose carefully. How about you follow it to a nearby azurite vein, eh? Make sure you stick near Crawler's light. Believe me, you don't want to get dragged into the darkness. This is... Sparkle glows like blue embers in the dark. My machine here can turn these rocks into something a little more useful. You might need some extra light down there, so how about you put a few flares together? Mine's also full of dead ends and things that ought to be dead themselves, so get a blasting stick while you're at it. Should have enough for both on ya. nice little pair of sticks you got. Mind you, don't get 'em mixed up. Don't want to have to mop you up. Though I suppose blowing yourself to bits is better than getting lost in the dark down there. I suggest you bring a few sticks of dynamite and a few flares when you venture down there. Crawler will guide you to some large ore veins, but tossing a flare into the gloom might reveal some very pretty little treasures. Since the mine's been around for so long, all the easy pickings have already been pinched. Might have to do some excavating of your own if you want something truly precious. There's some fragile-looking walls down there. Reckon a well-placed stick of dynamite will turn those walls to rubble. Why don't you give that a go, eh? I'll let you keep whatever you find on the other side. Not the prettiest spot in Rayclast, but relatively dry and safe as long as you stay in the light. Never cared about a good view anyway. Much prefer a cosy spot indoors. Not many of those on Rayclast aren't filled with bloody flesh eaters though, eh? Stay in the light. Welcome, Exile. Stay in the light, Exile. of sticks you got. Mind you,